Hello, everyone. I'm Melanie, and this week we read about the group theater, how it was founded, and some of the important elements that were taught, and also what came out of the theater. So I'm going to start with talking about the Vertel article that we read. I found it interesting, being mostly about the history of the group theater, and just some important points that I found out. Well, some things I saw interesting in the article was when Vertel talked about the actors after the group was over, and that they went on to become actors and directors on Broadway and in Hollywood. That was very interesting. And then also he made a comment about the actors who went on to work in Hollywood or on Broadway, that questioning whether or not the method could be used at all, because it was that it took too long. It seemed like he thought it would take too long because of the rushing demands of the entertainment industry. So I thought that was very interesting because as I learned, a lot of actors in Hollywood did use it after they learned from group members. So that was an interesting point that he made. Also, talking about, just mentioning the different actors that came out of the group and then what they did after the group. So they went on to teach and direct and act as well. Another point from that article that I saw that I found interesting was just the way that the group was founded. And I think the idea of taking this group of actors to the country and working kind of like an intensive, I guess it seemed like a summer camp. So that was very interesting, and it seemed like a new idea at the time, and it worked very well for them. So I thought that was interesting also. And that he called it an experiment in living. It went from an experiment in theater to an experiment in living. So that was interesting. The other thing I got out of this article was just it was interesting that they only used American actors and American written plays. I thought that was very interesting that Clurman insisted on that, and he didn't want any outside factors outside of the United States at that time. So that was very interesting, and how they did not want to also perform any classics. So I found that interesting as well. So I'm going to also now talk about chapter 4 in the book. The American Revolution is the name of the chapter. This was full of interesting information. I think one thing that stuck out to me the most was when Stella Adler went to Europe and met Stanislavski and learned that the effective memory exercise wasn't something that she had to do, and that he even suggested that she not do it anymore. And it seemed like a relief to her. And then when she brought it back to the other group members, that they were also excited to hear about that. And then obviously Strasberg didn't like that. So that was interesting as well. So I think it was good that she was able to go to Europe and meet Stanislavski and learn that, he did change his method over the years, and that they didn't even know that. So another interesting thing from this chapter I thought was interesting was the change from the Magic If to posing the question a different way. How do I motivate myself, or what would have to motivate me to behave as the character behaves? So that I think it gave a lot more detail to the Magic If, and I think that change or alteration made it easier for the actor to understand. So I thought that was interesting as well. The chapter overall, I really enjoyed it, and I learned a lot. just from this chapter. So I hope to learn more about the method. Thank you.